Hi guys, Dr. Mary here with an episode of Low Carb in the Leaves where I am patently not in the leaves. I'm in my car. Let's get rid of that. I had to get to work early today, and I'm also a little bit late doing this because of stuff that had to be done this morning. This week we're talking about mindset. And we're talking about how much of mindset is about listening to the stories in your head, becoming aware that your brain will tell you stories, and understanding that we can change the stories in our head. And also, quite extraordinarily, the stories that we tell ourselves will change our brain. So we can change our stories, and our stories change our brain. Another way of looking at that is that change is possible simply because we have always used a particular tool to deal with stress, for example, eating ice cream locked in the bathroom as a tool to soothe stress or uncomfortable feelings. Doesn't mean that we always need to continue with that tool. We can change our tools, we can learn new tools, we can learn new habits. And all of this comes from changing the stories in our heads. So the thought model we use in cognitive behavioural therapy is a psychological construct that rings true and is really useful to consider when we are trying to manage our minds. And that is that our thoughts create feelings, and our feelings create actions, and our actions create results. And you can change the results that you get with your lifestyle change by working all the way up on your thoughts. This is where mindset training comes into its own. So you really can change your thoughts. You really can. And a wonderful first step, if this seems a little overwhelming and a bit strange, and it can seem a little bit strange because people feel that perhaps we don't have any control over our thoughts, but we actually do. We actually do. It's not always easy, but we do. A wonderful place to start is to be able to create some space in our minds to examine our thoughts. And this, my beautiful human friends, is mindfulness. So when you create a little bit of space in your head, we can become far less reactive. So feel the stress, eat the ice cream without even thinking about it, not even processing it, just stress ice cream or whatever else it is. See the biscuits, eat the biscuits. Don't even think about it. Just go straight to it. Tired and stressed, fish and chips for dinner. Whatever it is, that's being reactive. You feel you got the thought, goes straight through to the feeling and the action, and then you're getting the results, which is still eating high carb processed foods and not living life according to your values, not changing your health. Well, that quick automatic process, you can change it by creating some space so that you can start to examine the thought. And a really simple way to start creating space in your brain is with mindfulness. And mindfulness is a term that's thrown around a lot. And I think a lot of people can kind of get their back up at this sort of thought, I don't want to do mindfulness. I haven't got time. I haven't got space. That won't work for me. There's lots of kind of blocks around that. I advocate introducing mindfulness for just 3 minutes a day. I often do it right here in my car, actually. I'm parked, I'm about to go into work. I'm talking to you now, but normally here, this is a trigger for my brain. When I park, I do 2 to 3 minutes of mindful breathing, literally 2 to 3 minutes, and where I just gently focus my attention on my breathing, and my brain wanders off in a billion directions like brains do, particularly if I'm a bit stressed, I've got a lot on like I do today. And then I just notice my mind is wandering and I gently redirect it back to my breathing. And this exercise, well, what the heck has this got to do with a weight loss program? Very good question. This exercise strengthens those mental muscles I have of being able to redirect my thoughts, being able to notice my thoughts and redirect them. And it doesn't take much. You don't need to train for, decades and decades and become a mindfulness master and be like the Dalai Lama in order to reap the benefits of a little bit of mindfulness. Just a little bit of training each day is enough to create some space in my head where I can notice that colleague's being really unhelpful, I need biscuits kind of thoughts. And to be able to change the thoughts, to recognise the stories in my head and to be able to start listening to them. So I encourage you all to do this. What I would normally do, sitting here, there's a tree right in front of me, which I find helpful to look at, but you could close your eyes, you could do anything you want. And I just look at the tree and I notice the leaves. And then as I'm looking at the tree and noticing the leaves, I breathe in for 3, out, hold for 4, and out for 7. That's one thing that really works for me. And this has the wonderful added benefit when you breathe out for longer than you breathe in, you activate the relaxation pathway in your brain. So not only am I doing some mindfulness and gently training my brain to notice my thoughts, I'm also relaxing. So it looks like this. It's literally that simple. And as I breathe in for 4, 1, 2, 3, breathe in for 3, 1, 2, 3, and hold for 4, and breathe out for 7, my brain will wander. That is totally normal. And the point is not to stop my brain from wandering. You can't stop your brain from wandering any more than you can stop your heart from beating. And you don't want to do that. It's just that you gently notice and you bring it back to the breathing. And it wanders off again and you notice and you bring it back to the breathing. And you do this lovely gentle dance with your mind. And this gentle dance is an exercise in mental fitness which gives you some space to start examining the stories in your head so that you can change your thoughts. It's really possible. We see it all the time. All right, wonderful human. I think I need to do a few more mindful breaths before I pop into work. Have a great day. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Bye.